Hello and welcome to Monaco. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a good one for you here on this Friday evening. A little night racing in Monaco. So it looks like today we'll have 19 drivers in Monaco at the Circuit de Monaco. We're looking at 19 turns, about 3 1/3 kilometers around the track here today. Lap record set in 2018 at 1 minute and 14 seconds, maybe a shade over that, by Max Verstappen for Red Bull. So we'll be looking to see if any of our drivers here today can break through that time and set a new lap record here in Monaco. Should be a really interesting race. As you guys may or may not know, Monaco doesn't really serve for a great passing ground, so qualifying matters quite a bit at this track. So this will be our 7th race of the Bette Jalle Season 8 F1 Series. Last week in Spain, we saw a really good race with Red Sniper taking home the win in the 25 points. Let's Get Fiscal finished in 2nd back in Spain. Big Baguette finished in 3rd, only slipping down a place behind Let's Get Fiscal due to penalties. Worried Cloud took home 4th last week in Spain, and Justice was our 5th place finisher last week. So we'll be seeing if some of those drivers can maybe keep that momentum, as 3 of the top 5 finishers last week are not in our top 5 in the table through 7 races. So quite a mix-up in the table, which we'll hit on in just a little bit as we get underway here in Monaco, as we see our drivers start to ready up. So do feel free to say hello in the chat. I'll give you guys a little shout out if I can and if I see it. We should be having a lot of fun here, guys. Night driving in Monaco. Hoping for good weather. Of course, bad weather would just make our any sort of passing maybe even more rare. As we see, we do have 19 drivers today, so no full grid. As we maybe dip down to 18 drivers, looks like. Maybe somebody is a late scratch, maybe still a strained hamstring or something of the sort. We'll have to check on that, as we see 10 seconds now remaining before we get underway. So on this track last year, we saw Luke Green, that's Greeny, take home the gold medal. Finished 1st one season ago, with Let's Get Fiscal finishing in 2nd last season, I should say. Vapor Trench finished in 3rd, Worried Cloud in 4th, and Josh Smith in 5th. So Worried Cloud, who had a nice placement last week, will look to continue the momentum, and he's proven that he can do it, as he did it last year, finishing in 4th place at this track. So as we get underway here in Monaco, a little bit about where our table stands. Quite the mix-up, as I mentioned earlier. We had Vapor Cobalt out to a very comfortable lead, but he only gathered 1 point with a 10th place finish last week. So he is now sitting atop the table still. However, he does have company. Tied with Vapor Cobalt is Big Baguette, both with 75 points through 6 races. Vapor Trench has 62 points through the first 6 races, is in 3rd place. Greeny, 53 points in 4th place, and Let's Get Fiscal with 50 points. So really only 25 points. That's 1 race's worth of points separate our 1st and 5th place drivers. Very, very interesting. So we'll see what happens here in Monaco. Just get set up here. And let's see who we have on outlap here. Looks like Melon Garden is heading out. Trulson's already out on the track. Brent Stelton is out on the track. Big Baguette starts to head out. Fiscal's also going to be our first driver to set a qualifying time here in Monaco. So we'll hop on board with Let's Get Fiscal and watch him set a time here in Monaco. As we see all of our drivers for now on softs, with the exception of Big Baguette, who comes out to set a time on those medium tires. Looks like we are going to have a dry race here in Monaco. I've just gotten the word. So that should be good news for these drivers, not having to worry about wet conditions. As we see Let's Get Fiscal come around the track, he'll be our first to set a qualifying time, and we will hop on board with him as I walk you through this track here in Monaco. You see him carry on through the home straight, and he'll look to see if he can set a time here. Comes across the finish line with good pace, heads into our first turn. That's going to be a bit of a sharp right-hander. This is the closest thing to a back straight here in Monaco. It takes us into turn 2, which is a bit of a waggle to the right, and then turn 3, left turn. Turn 4 is going to be a sharp right turn, as you just saw there, folks, as he sets a purple time in that, being the first driver. Turn 5 is a long looping right turn. Turn 6, a very sharp, almost U-turn to the left. Turn 7 will then be a 90-degree turn to the right. Turn 8 will be a past 90-degree turn to the right, through the tunnel here, into turn 9. The tunnel, we may see some movement in the tunnel, maybe in the form of some passing, but I wouldn't hold your breath, certainly. Turns 10 and 11 are back-to-back, first a left, then a right-handed turn. Very, very sharp turns there, as we'll see another purple time as Fiscal into turn 12, that left hand. 13, just a slight bit to the left. 14, slight bit to the right. 15, you just saw that, is a very quick right into turn 16, a quick left. 17 is where our DRS detection point is. 18 is our right turn. 19 is our second right turn, and he'll set a very nice qualifying time of 1 minute and 10 seconds, 700th of a second. That's really, really nice, and about 2 seconds faster than our lap record. So Fiscal's got to be feeling very, very good about that qualifying time. As we take a peek at Red Sniper, who was our winner last week, we'll see what kind of time he can set here in Monaco. Should be a good bit of fun, as we see Greeny now set the pole position time with 1 minute and 9 seconds, so maybe 300ths of a second we'll call it. As Red Sniper comes across just a shade under 1 minute 12, maybe not the best qualifying time for our defending winner from last week, as we see Elian slip about 5/10ths of a second above Let's Get Fiscal for that second position. Let's see if we hop on with KJ, who has had his lap invalidated, so we'll hop over to Vapor Lazy on an outlap. Vapor Lazy is a fun driver to watch. He really can make some moves here in Monaco. He'll be looking to turn in another performance for points like he did last week. Currently, only 2 points on the season, so he'll be definitely looking for more here in Monaco. As we see him bounce off the wall there, I'm assuming that's got to be maybe a bit of damage to that end plate on the left wing. Yeah, it seems to be. So not exactly what he wanted in this qualifying lap, as he will probably not set the kind of time that he would want here. As we see Greeny set a time about a second and a half faster than Elian in second, who's just had his second qualifying lap invalidated. Let's see, Justice looks like he just set himself a time, might be going around one more again here. Justice, who finished 5th last week. We'll stay on here with Justice just for a few seconds to see if he's setting maybe another possible time here. As he puts the pedal to the metal. As I mentioned, there's only 25 points separating our first place driver from our 5th place driver. So today's race could really separate the wheat from the chaff, so to speak. Either way, it should be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to watching what these drivers can do here in Monaco, as we see Justice maybe cut that just a little bit and gets his lap invalidated. Let's head over to KJ on the hot lap and Vapor Trench. Vapor Trench will look to set a good time. Maybe we'll hop on board with him as we watch him on his out lap, coming up on his hot lap here in just a moment. A couple things to hit on before we get started with this race. We will be looking to follow this interesting story. Greeny, who won 2 of the first 3 races in the league, putting up a very quick 50 points to take the early lead in the table early on in the season, has only put up 3 points in the last 3 races. So he'll definitely look to see if he can get something done today. He had a couple of DNFs in races 4 and 5. Last week he did finish 9th, so he did put up a few points last week. So certainly is something to watch to see if Greeny can maybe get it back together, as he's sitting currently in 4th place in the table with 53 points. So a lot to prove from that young driver. We will also see if Red Sniper can maybe carry on that momentum from last week, as he got a win in Spain. He is the 8th unique driver in Spain to get a win over the 8 seasons that we've seen, as Vapor Trench sets an excellent Sector 1. Might be on pace possibly for a pole position lap here. We'll hop back on board in the cockpit with him. So Red Sniper will look to continue that momentum here in Monaco. His qualifying lap maybe leaves a little something to be desired. Still in the top 10 for now. He'll maybe want to set one more lap to see if he can crack into that top 5. As I said, Monaco is a really difficult place to pass, so your qualifying lap really matters, maybe here more than anywhere else. As you see Vapor Trench just really pedal to the metal. It looks like he's maybe got something to prove after that finish last week, finishing in 14th place. However, still very much alive over the course of the season. Very good chance to make something happen here, as we see him set a time about a second slower than Greeny, but he does come in currently in P2 here in Monaco. Nothing wrong with that, certainly. Let's see if we can hop on with Let's Get Fiscal. He tries to maybe set a bit faster of a lap than his previous, as he's on this hot lap through Sector 1, as he comes up to the end of Sector 1, which would be turn 5 he's coming up to now, ladies and gentlemen. And into that very slow turn 6. Might see a couple of racers try to make a pass here. Definitely we'll see some 2-car wide situations early on in the race at the very least. We'll look to avoid the safety car as often as we can, as during our F2 race earlier in the week, we had not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 safety cars over the course of the feature in the sprint race. I feel like the safety car driver was maybe out on the course more than some of our racers were. And we'll see if Let's Get Fiscal, as he comes up through the later turns in this lap, as we see him take turn 19, and he's into the pit, so no trying to set a time there. Let's see if we have anybody on a lap here. Maybe perhaps Justice might try to put a time down here. We'll stay on board with Justice for now, currently in 7th place in qualifying, with about 8 minutes remaining in this qualifying. As we see this young man really going for it here. Looks like an excellent Sector 2 time he's just turned in. That's Justice. And that's exactly what the kind of exit that he needed to have there around turns 15 and 16. Really, really nice from him. And we'll see what kind of finish we get here from Justice. It's looking like it may shade him up just a few positions now into P6. So not too bad, as we see then Mellengarden immediately take the P6 back, at least in qualifying. I'm sure they'll have something to say about that in the race proper. Gourlay looks like he's happy with his minute and 11 seconds. Let's see, Vapor Lazy looks like he's trying to set a somewhat faster time, see if he can maybe start up maybe a position or 2 better than his current P16. As we do only have 18 drivers here today in Monaco, So a bit of a light grid comparative to what we've seen in the last few races. We'll certainly be looking to see what these drivers can do, as he does improve on his Sector 2 time. So maybe we'll see a bit of movement from him. He is about a second and a half slower than Brent Stelton in P15 in qualifying. So he's certainly going to have to really make up a lot of time here, as he will turn in not quite enough to move up. Does shade off about 0.7 of a second, but currently still in 16th, as he might be looking to do one more hot lap here before the end of qualifying. Currently, pole position, we have Greeny, who will certainly, like I said, be looking to get things back on track, no pun intended. Vapor Trench is currently in second with an excellent time from him. Let's Get Fiscal might be taking one more stab, as he's on an out lap. He's currently in third, KJ currently in fourth, and Elian currently in fifth place, as he also seems to be on an out lap. Let's see what kind of time Vapor Lazy pulls through Sector 2, and then we'll decide if we stay here, maybe move on to watch one of these other racers as they try to qualify. Ooh. Goes Elian, then swings by, and I don't know how Vapor Lazy will feel about that. Let's see. KJ out on an out lap, see if he can maybe improve on his time. Also, Let's Get Fiscal looks to improve as he's on his out lap. We see Elian into the pits. Big Baguette is on a hot lap here. Big Baguette tied for first place right now in the table, coming into this race with 75 points. So Big Baguette will certainly be looking to continue his recent hot run, as he's really turned in top 5 finish after top 5 finish through these last few races. So he'll see if he can catch maybe a bit more lightning, as we see Big Baguette allows Chensky to pass there. Let's take a look at Let's Get Fiscal on another out lap, as we see him through the very slow turns 6 and 7 through the tunnel, as we sit in the cockpit here with Let's Get Fiscal. And we'll see if maybe he can shave off a little bit of time, as he's coming through Sector 2 now. Purple Sector 2 for him, so he's definitely on pace to maybe shave off just a bit of time, as we see him round these last 2 corners into the home straight. It's going to be very close. It looks like he's got a real chance at the very least slipping up position. Yes, he'll be in P2 currently. About 0.2 of a second faster than Vapor Trench. So Let's Get Fiscal does make that extra hot lap pay off. As we haven't seen him, Vapor Trench come back out for another hot lap, so he might be okay with starting in third place for now, at least here in Monaco. As we hop on board with KJ, let's see if we can. He's through turns 10 and 11, coming up through Sector 2. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to turn in much of a lap here. Not sure what's going on with his car. I have to get back to you folks, but either way, it doesn't look like he's going to be setting the qualifying. We'll see him roll into the pits, I would imagine. No, looks like he's going to try one more time. So let's stay on board here with KJ as he attempts to maybe move up position or 2 here in Monaco. You see him bump the wall just a little bit there. That's going to make this really tough on him, because I'm sure he probably earned a little bit of... No, his wings actually seem to be okay, so no wing damage, luckily for him. Still think that bump maybe will slow him down enough to maybe not let him really get the pace that he would need to challenge for a better place here through qualifying. So we come up on the last couple of minutes of qualifying. Seems like for the most part our drivers are happy with their times, and we will see where things end up here in just a couple minutes as we get this race underway. Nighttime driving in Monaco. So we see the beautiful vistas, lots of really great views from this track. You may remember this track from Iron Man 2, as it played a huge part in that film, as this was indeed the track that Tony Stark first met the great villain in that Iron Man 2 film. So if you're thinking that maybe I've seen this track before, that could be what you know it from. So it looks like Vapor Trench will try to turn in one more lap before the end of qualifying. Try to slip maybe up. Just needs to shave off a couple tenths of a second to take back that P2 from Let's Get Fiscal. We'll have to see if he'll send it, as the kids say, through this hot lap. And away goes Vapor Trench on this hot lap, as he takes just a bit of contact in turn one. Turn one is certainly going to be interesting as we start this race. I mentioned earlier the F2 race that we had on Sunday. Turn one was quite the doozy. That's where we had our first safety car of the evening, as we saw quite the pileup, in fact forcing a restart of our feature race. But honestly, even during the restart, many drivers didn't fare any better through turn one. So we'll certainly be hoping for a cleaner start here in the F1 race only 5 days later. As Vapor Trench it's through sector 2 here, as he rounds turn 12, has shaved off enough time to maybe take that position back, as long as he holds on here through this last sector. Definitely not as fast as sector 1, but that was the fastest sector 2 we've seen here today. And we will see, yes indeed, Vapor Trench does slip up once again past Let's Get Fiscal. Will start in P2. It was enough to slip him by. So it looks like we are all set here. Let's see if we have any more hot laps going on here as we hop on with Big Bette to see if he can maybe also make a play at moving up just a little bit. He does set a slightly faster sector 2 time. We'll have to see if through these last couple of turns he can keep pace. He's looking like he's going to set a really nice time here, Big Bette is. And that should move him up to P4, just behind Let's Get Fiscal. So nice late movement there. Let's see, we still have Red Sniper out on a hot lap. We'll follow him around, although certainly not enough to set a better time, as we'll see him slip right into the pits. The pit today here in Monaco is right after turn 18, just before turn 19. Kind of a tricky, hard right turn into the pits. Certainly shouldn't see any speeding in the pits today. Of course, it's easier said than done, so we'll certainly see. As let's see, it looks like this is what we're gonna have in our race here in Monaco. So Greeny captures pole with an excellent, just a shade under 1 minute and 9 seconds. Vapor Trench will take P2 to start the race. Let's Get Fiscal will start in P3, Big Bette P4, KJ will start in P5, Elian will start in P6, Justice P7, Ellen Garden with a nice qualifying time will start in P8, Red Sniper, who looks to continue the momentum from his win last week, will start in P9, and Multi ABC in P10. Multi ABC currently with 4 points, so he'll certainly be looking to capture maybe a few more in this race. Another driver to keep your eyes on is Elian, who is yet to come alive in this Season 8 Bette Jalle F1 series, but certainly has the pace to maybe get something done. I would say he is certainly my driver to watch here in Monaco. Hopefully he keeps it off the walls and turns in a good performance, as we are all wrapped up with qualifying here in Monaco, and we move into our race proper. It should be a lot of fun as we see the 3 Brits leading the way in qualifying: Greeny, Vapor Trench, and Let's Get Fiscal. So certainly looking for some good work from those 3. Could be a lot of fun here, folks, as we have 18 racers on the grid. We'll see a lot of soft tires here in Monaco, that is for sure. I would imagine that the game plan is maybe start on those softs, stay out of any sort of danger, and then from there make the call whether you want to switch to your mediums or maybe even a harder composite tire. We will have to wait and see. I'm certainly looking forward to this race. Let me know if you guys are down in the chat. Should be a good race indeed. So as I mentioned, Vapor Cobalt only earned the 1 point last week, and Vapor Trench turned in a performance that garnered him 0 points. Those are our first and third place drivers in the standings respectively. So you certainly don't think that those two drivers will have any trouble here in Monaco as long as, as I've said, they can stay off those walls. Definitely both drivers will be looking to bounce back. Greeny has had a really rough last few races. He finally got back in the points last week in Spain, so he'll certainly be looking for more than the 2 points that he earned last week. As we start our formation lap, Greeny will lead the way, which hopefully bodes well for Greeny. Hopefully he will be able to turn in a performance that I know that he's capable of. After all, he has already won 2 races this season. So take a look at our tires as we start this race. Vicensky looks like he's going to start on those hard tires. Being able to change his tire after not being in the top 10 in qualifying, he's opted to go with the hards. So he'll look to stay on the track for as long as possible once all of these soft tire drivers pit. I'm assuming that'll be his strategy. We do see a few drivers on those mediums with Gourlay, Reflection, Worry Cloud, and Vapor Lazy all starting on those mediums. It looks like our pit windows for these soft tires will probably be in the first 10 laps if they want to put those hards on to take them to the end of the race. Some of them might try to stay out for a little bit longer and go for a soft medium approach. So it'll definitely be something to watch what these drivers out in the front end up doing with their pit stops. And we also see Trulson and Josh Smithness, both of which did not qualify. Trulson's on the hards and Josh Smithness is on the soft tires. Last year, Josh Smithness did turn in a top 5 performance here in Monaco, so he'll be looking to have a bit of maybe a repeat performance, see if he can catch lightning in a bottle and maybe move up. Maybe an early favorite for driver of the day with his performance last year. We'll certainly keep an eye on that. So as the drivers take their position on the grid, we will send it up to our starting line, and we'll watch these lights turn on and then turn off, and we will be off here in Monaco. As we see our last drivers take their position on the grid, and ladies and gentlemen, we are all set, and let's see what happens here in Monaco as the lights are on and off. And ladies and gentlemen, we are away in Monaco. Looks like a good start for Greeny. Stays out in front. Vapor Trench right behind him. Let's see, through turn 1, maybe a bit of wreckage. We do have a virtual safety car, so it does look like there was definitely some damage, but it looks like all the drivers will be able to keep it on the track for now, as we do have a virtual safety car through that first turn. Let's see if we can find our leaders here. As we see Greeny still leading the way under this virtual safety car. We see Vapor Trench and Let's Get Fiscal right behind him through this first lap. And we'll look for maybe that virtual safety car to lift here in the next few moments. So a bit of damage around the first turn, but it looks like everyone's okay, and the virtual safety car has lifted. We're green flags once again, and Greeny will look to see if he can maybe get something done. Looks like the contact might have been between Red Sniper and Buchensky, as they did pick up penalties. We'll have to check that as we will hop back on here with our leaders. We do have, Brent Stelton DNFs into the wall. Looks like he lost that front left tire, so he's out of this race. I'm certain that he will not be the last driver to be to DNF here. That is really bad luck for him, as we see Justice into the pits, maybe with a bit of damage. No good from him. We'll hop it back on the track. Let's see. So we also see Word Cloud into the pits. Vapor Lazy also into those pits. So definitely some early damage here, as we'll hop it back on the track. Lap 2, and we've already had a DNF. Brent Stelton was the unfortunate recipient of that. As we see another virtual safety car. I wonder if that was maybe through turn 1? I'm honestly not sure what has caused that virtual safety car. But certainly a bit of carnage through the first couple of laps here in Monaco. I guess you kind of expect that. As we'll see, these early intervals are still very tight. Not a lot of chances for our drivers out in front to take off. Let's see if we can spot any damage on any of these drivers. Looks like our top 3 are okay. Big Baguette looks good. Elian looks okay. KJ looked all right. Melon Garden seems to be okay. Gourlay, no damage. Red Sniper, no damage. A bit of damage on Multi. Looks like he's missing that right wing end plate. Let's see. Looks like Buchensky is good. No damage on Reflection. Trulson doesn't look like he's got any damage. And Josh Smithman's no damage. And I'm assuming the fellows who just pitted, probably no damage from them, as we do see multi-pit to maybe take a look at that wing damage. We are back off green flags once again here in Monaco as we come through. Let's see, this is lap underway in lap 3 here. As multi still is in those pits. Let's take a look here at Melon, who's on the tail of Elian, who in turn is right on KJ through the tunnel. And as we get up, let's see how these drivers do through. Let's see how Gourlay does in this very quick turns 10 and 11. I have no doubt that we'll maybe see a bit of destruction at some point coming through that bend, as it can certainly be dangerous. Let's hop back up as our leaders go through turn, enter the home straight, turn 19 that is. And it looks like Greeny has opened up a bit of a lead on Vapor Trench and Let's Get Fiscal. As we'll see them come up through that first turn, no problem there. As we bounce back to Red Sniper, takes that first turn without any trouble. Buchensky, no trouble. Reflection, no trouble. Trulson comes into that first turn, takes it just fine. Josh Smithness seemed to maybe lose a little bit of grip there, but he held on. As we hop back up onto KJ, who seems to be able to be keeping it pretty close to Big Baguette. We'll see if maybe he can make a move here coming up, as we'll hop in the cockpit with KJ. About a second behind Big Baguette through these very difficult turns 10 and 11. We see lots of penalties there, maybe some close driving. Certainly something to keep an eye on as we move through this race. Let's see any other close increments. It seems like our grid is getting a little bit spread out through these first few laps, as Greeny takes a commanding 2.5 lead, turns in yet another fastest lap here in lap 4, into lap 5 I should say, as KJ does keep it very tight on Big Baguette through that first turn. We'll have to keep it right here with him, see if maybe he can get a move done on Big Baguette. Like I said, Monaco is really tough for passing, as we see Big Baguette lose an end plate on his wing there. It's still going to be difficult to pass, I would imagine, but that should slow him down and allow KJ to just stay pretty much right on his tail. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like that left end plate came off of Big Baguette's car there. Definitely not what Big Baguette wanted, just 4 laps into these soft tires. As we go through the tunnel, shouldn't have any trouble on these straights. We'll have a bit of trouble as we get to these, get to the turns in here for Big Baguette. Seems like he's going to be just fine for now. And stay off the wall. KJ takes a look at that outside, but decides to lay off for now. He might try to maybe get a pass done through this home straight. Coming up here just in a moment. We'll have to see if he can, if KJ, that is, can get a move done. As Big Baguette does head into the pits, maybe to fix that wing. Maybe he was having a bit of trouble with it. So he will head into the pit, allowing KJ to slip up to 4th, Elian into 5th, Melon into 6th, and Gourlay into 7th. Let's hop on board with Reflection now. On those hard tires, Big Baguette is switching to hard tires. Reflection is on mediums. About 6/10 of a second behind Vichensky, who's on hard tires, so Reflection should have the pace to get by him. The question is, will he be able to find an opening as we see Vichensky maybe find just a little bit of contact with the wall there. Back through this early Sector 1, into Sector 2 now, as we see them come up to turn 6, this long looping left turn. Not a lot of room here for Reflection to maybe sneak by, although I have no doubt that he'll try to get something done. 40 laps we're doing, 39 laps, sorry, in Monaco. So it is a long race. The circuit itself is relatively short at just over 3 kilometers. So those 39 laps will go by very, very quickly here in Monaco. Let's see if Reflection can just maybe cover a little bit on Vichensky, who, as I noted, is on those hard tires, so maybe won't have quite the same pace as Reflection. We're going to have to come away from this just for a little bit and switch up to Mellengarden, who's about a third of a second behind Elian. We'll see if maybe he can get something done as Vapor Lazy picks up a 3-second time penalty. Might have seen a bit of damage maybe on one of Elian's wings. I'll have to see if I can get a better look at that. Yes, it does. Well, can't tell if he's missing that right wing end plate or not. Let's see. No, it looks like he does have the wing intact. But Mellengarden will still be looking to maybe get a move done on Elian. He's going to have to really pick his moment and go for it, as there's not going to be a ton of room to pass. Turns 10 and 11, right on Elian's back bumper there. Luckily avoids the fender bender. Won't have to call the police to write him a ticket for that one, at least for now. And so we see Mellengarden continue to pester Elian as they come up through the home straight here. This might be the best opportunity for Mellengarden to get a pass in. Unable to get it done before turn 1, which means that Mellengarden may be sitting tight here for another lap. Let's take a look back at Reflection, who is right on Vichensky here in P10. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get the move done quite yet. We'll stay here for just a moment to see if Reflection can maybe get just a little bit more pace than Vichensky, who's on those hard tires. It's very, very close here through turn 6. As Vichensky does seem to be gaining maybe just a little bit on Red Sniper. Still back a decent amount, about a second. Let's see, might just switch back up to Mellengarden for a moment. Follow this through the home straight, and then we'll switch back to Reflection through the home straight. Let's see if Mellengarden, who's been right on the back of Elian for quite a while now, can get a move done through this home straight. Looks like he'll be looking for a good exit, maybe the outside here, I would imagine. Unable to keep the pace that he needs. He's not going to quite be able to do that. Let's take a look and see what Reflection does through this home straight. Might try to shoot it through the inside. No, he's not going to cut that corner. So he'll lay off maybe for at least a little while longer. So we'll pop back over to Mellengarden, who continues to just be right on Alien's tail. Rest of the grid, besides these two drivers, are relatively spread out. We have seen Vicensky close the gap on Red Sniper to about a half a second. So certainly a bit of maybe the beginnings of a train to watch there. If Vicensky struggles to get by Red Sniper. Maybe a bit of a pass here. This could be very interesting as they go side by side. And it looks like for now, Alien will hold off Mellengarden. For now. And we'll continue to keep an eye on this. It's very, very tight. And we'll see maybe one more attempt coming up through this lap lap 9 home straight. We'll see if maybe this is the one that lets Mellengarden spins out, unfortunately loses it, and Gourlay takes advantage of that miscue by Mellengarden and moves up into 6th position. I'm really not sure what happened there, as we'll take a look back on this train. 3 cars here, Red Sniper in 8th, Vicensky 9th, and Reflection in 10th. Right on each other, and we'll stay here for now to see if any of these drivers can maybe get something done, as Red Sniper continues to play good defense, not really allowing anyone through. We are entering our pit window, so we may see some of those drivers up in the front start to go into the pits. Certainly something to keep an eye on here in Monaco. And we'll see when our drivers out front will pit. I have a feeling we'll see Let's Get Fiscal pit later rather than sooner, as Gourlay does slip by Alien and continues to make good progress. Definitely somebody to keep an eye on, Gourlay. He's done a really good job slowly and methodically moving his way up through this grid. As we'll take a look now at our early winners and losers as you see, Gourlay has made up 8 positions, so excellent work from him. Trulson started at the back of the grid, has moved up 7 positions. And the big loser so far is Big Baguette, with that early wing damage, having to pit, unable to make up any more positions. As you see Melon going to the pit, maybe to repair from that wreckage we saw earlier when he spun into the wall. So definitely Gourlay has done some really nice work early on in this race, moving all the way up to 5th after starting in qualifying in 13th. And you see Vicensky maybe lose it just a little bit there, but manages to keep it on the track, avoids the wall for now, and we'll see what happens here. This is definitely a fun little competition to watch, as we see now Trulson maybe jump on the back of this train. We'll continue to look to make some moves after starting, like I said, at the bottom of the grid in this race. So definitely a fun train to watch here. It's really starting to form up behind Red Sniper, who, as I mentioned, was the race winner last week. As we see Greeny pick up a 3-second time penalty. He's out in front with a huge interval now since he hasn't pitted. As we see the racers, Vapor Trench, Fiscal, and KJ all in the pits, as Gourlay manages to move up. We'll see what kind of exit maybe Vapor Trench can get as he comes out neck and neck with Gourlay. It looks like he will manage to stay ahead of Gourlay out of the pits, and Let's Get Fiscal manages to get in and out of the pits in 4th. Very solid work from Let's Get Fiscal. Gourlay now has worked his way from 13th up to 3rd. That's a position change of 10. So really nice work from Gourlay. He'll see if he can keep turning in these good laps as we get into the second third of our race here in Monaco. Certainly good work from him so far. Let's take a peek back at this train as we see a couple more drivers maybe come out from the pits and join onto it. We see KJ just behind Trulson in turn, about a second behind Reflection. Vicensky has managed to pull away a little bit. I apologize. Fiscal has pulled away a little bit. Reflection still right on Vicensky here through turn 12. And we'll see if Reflection looks to maybe get a move done on those slightly softer composite tires than Vicensky. As we do have, let's see if he manages. DRS isn't able through this home straight. Not able to get the move done on Machensky. Trulson we see take that turn 1 no problem. Big Baguette looks to rejoin this train. As he qualified, I believe, in the top 6. Might have even been 4th that he qualified in. But has slipped out down into 9th place after that early damage he had to pit to repair. We see KJ pass Trulson here, and we'll see if maybe KJ can get it done on Reflection, who continues to just ride Machensky through, let's see, that would be turn 8, I believe. So KJ kind of very close to the wall there, but manages to have a very good exit, so it paid off. Machensky does do a bit of corner cutting. Those are the turn 10 and 11 that I was telling you guys about. That could be a real doozy. A lot of penalties there as drivers maybe cut it just a little too much. We'll hop on with Reflection to see if he can get this move done finally on Machensky through this home straight. We'll stay right here as he has the DRS. Let's see if he has the pace to slip by Machensky. As we come up to turn 1, they're going to be side by side, and unfortunately Reflection had to hit the brake to avoid contact with Machensky, and that cost him a position as we see KJ slip into now P6, who looks like he's going to try it here. Really, really close. Let's see if they can stay off the wall. And it looks like Machensky's going to fend that off for now, but very, very close driving here between KJ and Machensky as Reflection looks to maybe take that spot back from KJ. And it does look like Machensky is going to give up that position to KJ through the tunnel. KJ takes over P5. Yellow flag in Sector 3 is Vapor Lazy DNFs. I'm not sure if that was what that Sector 3 caution was for. Seems likely though. And Greeny has pitted and manages to maintain that lead even after his pit stop on those medium tires now. Gourlay has managed to maintain for now P3. He's got Let's Get Physical right on his tail, and we'll stay here because this is a good fight for what could potentially turn into a podium position. That being said, Gourlay still is not pitted on those medium tires, so I'm certain that we'll see pit stop from Gourlay at some point. Probably still has maybe 3 or 4 laps left before he really needs to pit. He might opt to pit maybe a little bit sooner, but for now he'll keep Fiscal from passing him as we come through turns 7 and 8. Turn 9 here through the tunnel. Fiscal's probably not going to be able to get a pass done. He is going to take a peek at the inside. Not able to get it done. Gourlay we see spin out right in front of Fiscal. Unable to get that move done. Did Fiscal maybe take a little bit of damage off that wall? Yeah, it looks like he might have lost an end plate. That could be no good for Let's Get Fiscal. No, he does still have both his end plates, so he's okay for now as he'll continue to try to keep pace with Gourlay and maybe take that 3rd position through this home straight as he looks to the inside. See a couple drivers try this move. You have to make sure you maintain the pace even on the inside corner as we see these two side by side coming up. Let's see what becomes of it. It looks like Fiscal will for now take that position from Gourlay and manage to take it without damage, which in Monaco is certainly something. And Fiscal will now get to work on cutting down that time difference between him and Vapor Trench in position ahead. Reflection we see going to the pits, and Trulson also into those pits. Let's see if we have any other. Looks like Elian is right on the tail of Justice. See if they can get something done here through this very loopy turn 6. So Elian will look to maybe get a move done here on Justice. Justice did finish in 5th place last week, so we're looking to maybe have a bit of a repeat performance. He'll definitely have to make up some positions though if he wants that to be a reality. As for now, he's doing everything he can just to fend off this advance from Elian. As we come up here through these turns 10 and 11. Red Sniper does pick up a 3-second time penalty, not what he needed, that is for sure. Unable to really capitalize on that momentum from last week in Spain. And we'll see if Elian decides. It doesn't look like he's close enough to Justice to maybe take a shot at this. But he will, for now, back off. Still staying very, very close. We'll take a peek up at Big Baguette, right on the tail of Vicensky, who's in P6. As Big Baguette maybe looks to get a move done and keep moving up the grid. With that early damage, he found himself all the way back in around P13 and has managed to really make some good racing moves to get himself up to P7 as we see him play bumper cars there with the railing. That's definitely not what he wanted. Hopefully no damage for him. Yeah, it looks like no damage, so that's lucky for now. Oh, as we see Big Baguette cut that corner very sharply. I'm sure that'll be a warning for Big Baguette. Definitely not what you want to see. As Big Baguette, that little bump did cost him just a little bit. Let's hop up to KJ, who's right on the back of Gourlay. Gourlay doing his best on those 17-lap old mediums to maintain that position. He's now fallen off about 6 seconds from Fiscal after Fiscal passed him about 2 laps ago. And we'll see if KJ can get a move done on Gourlay. As we come into turn 6 here. Gourlay gets a pretty nice exit, so for now we'll be fending off KJ. For now, see if anything changes. As we see maybe some side-by-side racing here, as Melon is right on the back of Multi ABC, about 1/10 of a second behind. And we'll see if Melon Garden can get a move done on Multi ABC. Very, very close racing here, and Red Sniper is right on the back of that pair as well. We'll scoot back up to Elian, who bit of contact there with Justice. Let's see if he can get this move done, as Justice just refuses to yield any sort of room there. Elian has to pump the brakes. Oh, as we see Justice maybe spin out. Elian does a very nice job getting around that. Wow, avoids damage, avoids contact. Really, really excellent from him. You see KJ pick up a time penalty, and Justice will be frustrated with that spin out there. That's bad luck for him. Let's see, it looks like it was Trulson maybe taking just a bit of... Oh yeah, Trulson looks like he's going to DNF into the wall. We do have a safety car now coming out for Trulson. That is not what you wanted to see from Trulson here in Monaco. Definitely not the result that he would want. So while we have a safety car waiting for these drivers, let's take a peek maybe at our penalties. Let's see if we go to the race director here, folks. We'll take a look and see what kind of penalties we have. Vicensky has picked up a 5-second time penalty, as has Red Sniper, both colliding with Multi ABC through that first lap. I believe that was on the first corner. Lots of warnings here as well. Definitely going to keep an eye on those. Vapor Lazy has picked up himself a 3-second. Greeny has picked up a 3-second. Multi has picked up a 3-second. Vicensky picked up a 3-second. Vapor Lazy 10-second. I believe that is he's retired from the race anyway. Justice has picked himself up a 3-second time penalty. Red Sniper has picked himself up a 3-second time penalty. KJ has picked himself up a 3-second time penalty. And as we just saw, Trulson did indeed DNF. I think that's where we're at as we exit out of here. Greeny would really created some separation for himself. Safety car, maybe not exactly what he wanted to see here. As we see, Vapor Trench will be right on his tail as we get the restart with maybe the edge with those 8-lap-old hards. It looks like we'll have KJ will start once we have the safety car come off. He'll be in third. Let's Get Fiscal looks to close a bit of a gap in fourth. Big Baguette also working to close that gap before the safety car heads off in fifth. Gourlay takes advantage of the safety car to get that tire change done, so definitely a good play from him to make that safety car count, and he'll come back out in seventh for now on the grid. So really good racing from Gourlay so far. Let's take a quick look too at our position changes, as we see not a whole lot of position changes, to be honest. Josh Smithness has made up a few positions. He was the driver I said to keep an eye on here. We have Red Sniper conceding a few positions. Gourlay has probably been our big winner, moving up 6 positions. And if we look at our DNFs, we see Trulson has also moved up 2 positions. So congratulations to Trulson. I'm sure he's probably personally out right now. Very unfortunate finish for him in this race here in Monaco, which can be very unforgiving indeed. Oh, come on, Gourlay, you got to stay off the wall there, buddy. Let's see if he didn't take any wing damage at least, so that's something. We'll go back to tires and take a look at our tire freshness as the safety car stays out here. Because we do see the table here at the top kind of close. Gourlay will have to make up a little bit of time to get himself back in line with the rest of our leaders. So Greeny currently on those 8-lap-old mediums. Vapor is on those 9-lap-old hards. Big Baguette on 15-lap-old hards. He maybe will regret not pitting under the safety car, but he does like himself that he's worked his way back up to 5th for now. Let's Get Fiscal did take advantage of that safety car to pit now on fresher mediums, 2-lap-olds, which he'll look to take to the end of the race. Could be very, very interesting. Multi with the 19-lap-old hards, also something to keep an eye on. So it's certainly setting up to be a very interesting finish here, as the crash for Trulson is kind of what put us in this situation. We'll see what happens as we come up through these last maybe 16 or so laps with this fresh restart, as we'll see maybe the safety car head off at the end of this lap, and we'll get back underway. Looks like all of our drivers have caught up to the pack for the most part. We do see Reflection, who is down a significant amount of time, won't be able to make any more passes. He's currently behind Greeny, and Worried Cloud, who is also at the tail end of this pack, I apologize, just behind Vapor Trench currently, also will not be able to make any more passes. So definitely not the best safety cars for those gentlemen, but they'll work to make up some time here, currently a lap back. So it looks like our safety car will be heading off this lap, and we'll hop on with Greeny, maybe Vapor Trench, to see what kind of start Greeny earns, as Vapor Trench will be a bit frustrated to have Reflection separating him and Greeny. Definitely not the best case scenario. However, I suppose it could be worse. You see Greeny take off here, and Reflection will allow Vapor Trench to go ahead and get that pass. I'm not sure what happened there. It looks like Reflection is maybe having some issues as he takes some damage. Not entirely sure what Reflection is doing there. We'll hop back up to the top with Vapor Trench already conceding a few seconds as he had to work his way by Reflection. So 3 seconds back for now on Greeny, as we see a yellow flag in Sector 2. Not sure who that might be. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on through Sector 1. Could have just been Reflection maybe allowing those drivers in front of him to pass. And we'll hop on with Let's Get Fiscal, who is just behind KJ here. Looks to maybe make a move back for a podium finish. It will be back-to-back podium finishes for Let's Get Fiscal if he can hang on. It looks to be in relatively good position. Fresh mediums, you know, only 14 or so laps to go. He could probably stretch those mediums and make them last. So certainly in good shape for sure. Elian we see right on the back of Gourlay, who, as I've mentioned, has turned in quite the race so far today. Ooh, we see Justice is pitting, and it looks like he's going to retire from this race. So Justice is all done for the day. He'll go take a shower and call it. As we see, Reflection also will retire from this session. I would imagine Worry Cloud's got a lot of work to do. Maybe we won't see him retire, but definitely keep an eye on that. As we see Gourlay right on the back of Big Baguette. A couple of time penalties coming through there for Elian. I didn't see who the other one was for, and they have to check that again in a little bit. So lots of DNFs here in Monaco. Already 5 drivers will not finish this race in a grid that had 18 to start. Looks like at the most we'll have 13 finish. As you see Big Baguette take a bump and allow Gourlay to slip by. It looks like Big Baguette maybe out of turn 11 just bumped the wall maybe, and that slowed him down and allowed Gourlay to get the pass done. Let's take a look at Let's Get Fiscal, who remains right on the tail of KJ. As we see Greeny really putting some work in, as he's going to probably have to do a pit stop before the end of this race. Otherwise, he'll be on about 26 or so lap old mediums, which I guess I've seen Greeny do crazier things, so maybe it wouldn't surprise me too much if it came down to that. As we see quite the train form up here behind KJ, although I guess not so much. It looks like KJ has really been cutting down the time on the Big Retrench. So maybe catching up, I should say, to Big Retrench, and the train starting there. We'll see as we'll slip down to Elian, tries to get the move done on Big Baguette. Big Baguette, as we saw, not having a great time in Monaco, finding the wall maybe a bit more than he would like. This is where he did it on the last lap. We'll see if maybe he can avoid that bump, and he does indeed. For now, ooh, not sure what happened here. We see blatant corner cutting there, so I think that's a fair penalty for sure. Obviously, he can pick up 3 seconds. And Melon will take that position from multi-ABC. Let's hop back up to Let's Get Fiscal, who remains right on the back of KJ's car here in lap 26. As we come up through turns 4 and 5. And nothing doing for Let's Get Fiscal, at least for now. You see KJ maybe spin the tires just a little bit as they come up into turn 6. KJ has certainly shortened that lead that Vapor Trench held in P2. As Let's Get Fiscal also showing impressive pace here in this race. And we'll have to see what kind of finish is in store here, as we see lots of penalties. Vapor Trench without a penalty and Let's Get Fiscal without a penalty, at least for right now. But we see lots of penalties up and down this grid. And we'll see if Let's Get Fiscal can match pace with KJ. As he's right on his tail coming through these last couple of turns here in Monaco. And we'll see what kind of exit Let's Get Fiscal can get, as he can maybe get a pass in as this DRS is enabled. He's looking at maybe the outside. Ooh, KJ. Definitely difficult driving to predict there for Let's Get Fiscal, as he maybe gives him a little boop on the tail end there. Definitely not what Let's Get Fiscal was looking for. And we'll stay here for now with Let's Get Fiscal right on KJ. And this is definitely our closest interval as they come around that long, looping left-handed turn. That's turn 6, ladies and gents. We come into our final third of the race now. We are 2/3 of the way there, folks. Shaping up to be an interesting finish. We'll have to see if Greeny's tires can hold on there and give him that podium, that first place finish. It will certainly be much needed, as Greeny here is riding those 14-lap-old mediums. We'll see if they hold up. KJ also on 15-lap-old mediums, probably looking to pit sooner rather than later. Big Baguette will also probably need to pit on those 21 lap old cars. And we will see a move done from Let's Get Fiscal as he passes KJ through this home straight. And it looks like he will hold on to that position. Worry Cloud picks up a 3-second penalty. I don't think Worry Cloud is too worried about penalties at this point, as he's a good distance back from our racers here. It looks like Let's Get Fiscal will now get to work and do his best to maybe catch up, shorten the gap between himself and Vapor Trench. Let's Get Fiscal has really been turning in a great race here in Monaco. He always seems to, this seems to be his favorite track, as we saw him turn in a really good performance in F2 earlier in the week as well. So it looks like Let's Get Fiscal is pretty comfortable at saying that he should, without any sort of big mistakes, earn a podium spot here, as he is on the freshest tires of the top 3. We'll see if maybe he can even move up to capture that second position. At this point, he just needs to have himself a nice clean race and finish strong and with pace and stay away from the walls. And he should be able to earn himself a top 3 finish here in Monaco. As we see him about a second and a half behind Vapor Trench. We'll slip down in the table to Melon Garden, who is right on Alien through this home straight of lap 28 and 29. Won't be able to get the move done through turn 1. That's one of the better passing spots as we've seen here in Monaco. So at this point, he will have to sit tight and see if an opening presents itself to Melon Garden, who seems like he is eager to get this move done on Alien sooner rather than later. Maybe a bit of contact with the wall there. We'll see if Melon Garden maybe looks to get a move done through the tunnel. Looks like he's maybe backed off just a little bit. And Let's Get Fiscal has now shortened that gap on Vapor Trench to about a second. So we'll have to pop back up there in just a moment to keep an eye on that. As Melon Garden still remains about a half second behind Alien here in Monaco. Gourlay holding steady, certainly through the first 2/3 of this race. I think Gourlay is my favorite for driver of the day, as he's done some really good racing, very strategic with the pit, and we'll have to see if he can hold on to that position as we see through, once again, turn 1 and lap 30. It looks like Melon Garden can't quite shorten that gap to a point where he can actually make a move. And we will stay put for now here, still keeping an eye on that Let's Get Fiscal gap between him and Vapor Trench. We'll slip back up there maybe in a moment or two, as Alien cuts that corner nicely, has an excellent exit. It looks like he'll continue to defend P7 from Melon Garden here through the tunnel. As he shortens this gap to under 0.3 of a second through those very quick turns 10 and 11. Really nice racing here as Melon Garden just stays right on Alien's tail. Both of them are showing pretty solid pace as they start to close the distance between themselves and Big Baguette, who I would imagine will see pit in the next couple of laps, as he's on now 25-lap-old hard tires. Let's Get Fiscal down about half a second. We will maybe see a pass here. Let's see if a little bit of contact there from Melon Garden. Very close, almost got the pass done, just unable to, I guess, really have the room on Alien. And we'll keep it here, folks, for a little while longer, although definitely want to keep an eye on the Let's Get Fiscal fight there for P2. As you see, Alien maybe hit the wall and lose a little bit of pace going through the tunnel. And no dice on the outside. Maybe try to get something done here. Let's see, going to be very, very tight. Ooh, lots of contact there. Alien had to corner cut maybe to avoid that penalty, as he'll give that spot then to Mellengarden. Maybe feels a little bit bad for the contact. I'm not sure, he might have also taken a bit of damage himself. It looks like that left end plate maybe is missing on Elian now. Definitely not what he wanted to see. Let's hop up and take a look at Let's Get Fiscal. As yeah, Elian will head into the pits to take a look at that wing. Bad luck for Elian. Good luck for Mellengarden, who takes that P7 spot away from Elian. As we keep an eye on those tires of Big Baguette, currently 26 laps old. I'm sure those things are starting to get really worn through. As we see Greeny just continue to expand this interval, we'll see if those medium tires hold up through the end of this race. About 7 more laps to go, so definitely playing with fire, Greeny is. Vapor Trench also will probably be okay to finish the race on those hard tires, but they will certainly not give him great pace through these last few laps. And Let's Get Fiscal is looking to capitalize on those relatively fresh medium tires. Will hop in the cockpit with Let's Get Fiscal. Manages to maybe shave off another 10th of a second or so between himself and Vapor Trench. Certainly something to watch here as Vapor Trench continues on those 21 lap old hards. Of course, Greeny will also be working on those 20 lap old mediums. At this point, he's looking to get a podium. If he can maybe widen this gap just a little bit more, he might try to just do a very quick pit and still be able to come out maybe around 3rd or 4th place as he comes out of the pits. It'll be very close. Sorry, 4th or 5th place, I should say. As we see Fiscal continue to just turn in consistent lap after consistent lap. That's kind of what this guy's known for. He qualified in 3rd place here, as our top 3 have remained the same to this point in the race. Greeny qualified in 1st, remains in 1st, Vapor 2nd, and Let's Get Fiscal in 3rd. And we'll have to stay here to see if Let's Get Fiscal can get a move done on Vapor Trench. DRS isn't able here through the home straight, unable to really get too much. He's down to about 4/10 of a second now, so still pretty close as we've now seen Mellengarden. He's definitely caught up to Big Baguette, and we'll have to keep an eye on that too. In fact, let's go ahead and take a look and see if through this home straight, Mellengarden can get a move done on Big Baguette. Definitely keeping it tight as you see Big Baguette maybe losing just a little bit in the tires. And we'll stay here for a moment to see if Mellengarden can get another move done after passing Elian a couple of laps ago. As we see Mellengarden just kind of biding his time, waiting for a moment or maybe a mistake from Big Baguette. Big Baguette has certainly made a mistake or two so far in this race, so they'll be looking to avoid that on those 28 lap old hards. We'll see with tremendous pace here, Mellengarden looks like he should be able to pass Big Baguette through this next home straight. He certainly has the pace to do so. We might even see Big Baguette opt to pit, although at this point I think he's pretty much in for a penny, in for a pound. We might just see him try to finish out the race on those pretty well-worn hard tires. So he does forego the pit stop. We'll see if Mellengarden can close the gap on Big Baguette. Sector 2 yellow flag. Maybe from our leaders. I'm not sure what happened there. As Greeny does put now 10 seconds ahead of our second place racer. So Greeny is definitely really building that interval here through the last 5 laps of the race. We'll have to see if those medium tires hold up. Big Baguette will also be dealing with a lot of stress on those tires. He has managed to close the gap and is caught up to Gourlay on those 15-lap-old softs. Also, Gourlay maybe not exactly what he was looking for. Maybe should have opted for a slightly harder composite when he pitted. I'm not sure those tires are going to hold up for Gourlay through this race, but we'll have to see. Mellengarten just continue to ride the back of Big Baguette on those now almost 30-lap-old hards. As both Gourlay and Big Baguette forego the pits, and it looks like they're going to be in for the long haul here. And we should see a pass through Mellengarten, I would imagine. Unfortunately, unable to really get any space to pass. Big Baguette played really good defense there. So good work for him. Gourlay is really struggling with ERS, down about 9%, although all of these drivers have really burned through their ERS. So definitely some room for moves. Mellon definitely with the most ERS currently. And we'll see if maybe through the tunnel, one of these drivers can make something happen, as Gourlay's got to really be struggling with those soft tires, I would imagine. Basically at this point praying for no safety car through these last few laps, as he has enough of a difference to cover his penalty. So we'll be hoping. Oh, as we see Gourlay go into the wall. Oh, bad luck for Gourlay. Somehow manages to get back on the track, as he will have to pit though. Looks like he sustained pretty heavy damage there. As Mellengarten still looking to get something done on Big Baguette, whose tires have got to be screaming in agony at this point. 31-lap-old hards. And we'll see if Big Baguette can take these tires through another 3 laps. It's going to be very, very close. We will maybe shift back up just for a moment to Let's Get Fiscal and see if he's able to get a move done on Vapor Trench. Looks like Greeny is going to try his best to make those medium tires last through these last few laps. Certainly anything can happen here, as we see Greeny cross the finish line with only 2 laps remaining. And we'll shift back to this competition here for P5 with Mellengarten right on the back of Big Baguette. Could be a really interesting finish here, with Vichensky trying to close this gap as well and maybe get in on the fun. See if he can make that happen. Josh Smith, this is also just a quick shout out to him, done a really nice job working his way up to P8, started near the bottom of the grid after qualifying, and good work from him to work his way up into the points, at least through these 38 laps. We see it looks like Greeny is about to come across the finish line for the penultimate time. And that will take us into lap 39, as Mellengarten still just trying to get anything done on Big Baguette. Maybe take a look at passing through this tunnel. Very dangerous to pass in here, and it looks like he might lay off for now, as we see Vichensky driving up on the back of this train. Maybe a bit of bumping, and looks like maybe an end plate came off one of those drivers. Let's see. I'm able to see it there. Seems like Mellengarten still has all of his pieces, as does. Yeah, it looks like both of these drivers are still doing okay win-wise. As Let's Get Fiscal has passed Vapor Trench now. Didn't quite see that pass happen, folks. I'm sorry about that. As we are now on our final lap, and could be really, really interesting here. And we'll see if Vapor Trench can maybe take that position back from Let's Get Fiscal, who capitalized. It looks like maybe they caught up to Worried Cloud, and Let's Get Fiscal maybe capitalized on Vapor Trench having to slow down in some way, shape, or form there. As we see Greeny finish in first place, well out in the lead, should have no problem with the penalty. We'll see if Let's Get Fiscal can hang on to P2. It's looking probable. Yes, indeed, Let's Get Fiscal will finish in second, Vapor Trench in third. Let's take a look back here at Mellengarten to see if he can get this move done on Big Baguette, who honestly Big Baguette did a really nice job fending off all of these attacks on those ridiculously old hard tires. As both these drivers look like they're running pretty low on fuel. A bit of a tap there as we come up through this home straight. It does look like Big Baguette's going to capture and hold off in the P5, Mellegard in the P6, Chensky check that, Josh Smithness in the P7, Chensky P8, Red Sniper in P9, Gourlay looks like he's going to do his best to get P10, should have the gap covered, I believe. I'll have to see, although Alien does have a couple penalties himself. So I would imagine that we will see Gourlay in 10th and Alien in 11th. Let's see, yes indeed. So, guys, a lot of fun here in Monaco. We did have 5 drivers in DNF'd as Alien, again, narrowly misses out on points. Not exactly ideal. Josh Smithness earns the Driver of the Day nod from the game. Gourlay raced so well, and I really thought he earned a better finish than he did. Unfortunately, the choice to go on those soft tires out of the safety car really cost him of being able to turn in a top 5 performance. So definitely not exactly what he wanted. But we see Mr. Greeny, who seems to be boom or bust. This guy either wins or decides he doesn't want the points. As he wins his 3rd race of the season, we see Let's Get Fiscal turn in an excellent result in P2, and P3 will be Vapor Trench. I'm sorry, was that Vapor Trench or Vapor Cobalt? I don't want to lie to you, so we'll wait just a second, make sure that I get that right. Vapor Trench, yes indeed. Vapor Cobalt did not join us for our race today. So it was Vapor Trench finishing in 3rd place. So our top 5 drivers, Greeny will take 1st place in Monaco, Let's Get Fiscal 2nd, Vapor Trench 3rd, KJ will take 4th place, and rounding out our top 5 is Big Baguette, who drove his hard tires really into the ground. Certainly did. A really fun race here in Monaco, folks. I look forward to having you guys back next week for our next race. Hope you guys will join us on Sunday too, streaming at the same time, of course. Until then, stay safe. This is Ben Silver signing off, saying see ya.